Hey guys, we're back with the last section 2.5. Remember, we are not doing section 2.4, so we're skipping to 2.5. 2.5 is applications and word problems. I have decided to eliminate some of these problems. We're only going to do a couple different types. So if there's one of these on the test that we have not covered, right, I'm not going to have you do it. It'll have a do not do with it. So speaking of that, homework problems, there's less for this section. You are to do 3, 5, 7, 9, 31, and 33. Okay, so 3, 5, 7, 9, 31, and 33. You are not to do 11, 13, 37, or 39. So I've gotten rid of 4 problems. All right, so bear with me as I write everything out on the board so we have it to reflect. But remember, this is in your notes on the PDF document. So let's go ahead and look at this. So this says the sum of twice a number and 3 is 7. Find the number. So we're solving for unknowns. This time we have to actually come up with our equation ourselves. So we have to interpret what they've given us. So they said the sum of twice a number and 3 is 7. Find the number. Well, the sum lets me know, well, I'm going to be adding 2 numbers. Sum means adding, right? So the sum of twice a number, well, that tells me it's 2 times a number that I have no idea. So that's going to become our variable. Use whatever variable you want, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, I don't care. So we have 2x, that's twice a number. And 3 is going to let us know that it's equal to 7. So now I came up with my equation, 2x plus 3 equals 7. So now we're solving for x, the unknown. So this is a positive 3, so we need to subtract 3 on both sides. 3 minus 3 cancels. I'm going to bring down my 2x equals, and 7 minus 3 gives us 4. Now I'm going to use our division property and divide both sides by 2. So x is 2. So the number we were solving for was 2, okay? And you can check your work. If you substitute this back into the original, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So that checks out. That works. Okay, so that's one type of problem we're going to be doing. Let's look at another. So it's not always just going to be cut and dry and solving for one number. Sometimes we're going to have to solve for 2. So let's look at this one. It says one number is 3 more than twice another. So I apologize, I have very poor handwriting. Like I said, this is in the notes as well if you need to reference it. So one number is 3 more than twice another. Their sum is 18. Find the numbers. So last time we were only solving for one number. This time we're solving for 2. So one number is 3 more than twice another. Their sum is 18. Find the numbers. So when we have a problem like this that we need to solve for 2 numbers, I like to start it as we have our first number and we have our second number. So I try to organize this, okay? So we need to find the number that we know nothing about, no information, okay? That number will become our variable. So one number is 3 more than twice another. So we have no idea. So let's go ahead and denote the first number. So the first number is going to become our variable, okay? It's going to become our variable. Now we're going to use that variable to come up with our second number. So it says one number is 3 more. Well, 3 more means I'm going to be adding 3 to something. Twice another. 2 times another. 2 times n. Okay? Now, where I see mistakes here with this problem is you need to make sure you're adding the first number and the second number because it says their sum is 18. Now you need to substitute in what the first number was. The first number was n plus the second number we said was 2n plus 3 is 18. So you have to substitute both of those in. Now we're going to combine like terms. N plus 2n. Well, n plus 2n gives us 3n plus 3 is 18. So now we need to solve. I'm just going to rewrite this so we can solve. Now we need to solve for n. So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to subtract 3 on both sides. Bring down the 3n equals 18 minus 3 is 15. Use that division property by dividing both sides by 3, and we end up with 5. Now, this is not our final answer, okay? We have to substitute this value in for the first and the second numbers, okay? So the first number is n, so we know pretty easily. First number is 5. We have half our answer there, okay? We have half our answer. Now, the second number, we need to go ahead and substitute in the 5 for n. So I have 2 times 5 plus 3. Order of operations, we're going to multiply first. So that gives us 10 plus 3 is 13. So the first number is 5, the second number is 13. Okay, so that's how we would solve a problem like this. My eraser just broke. All right, we'll make it work. Okay, it worked enough to erase the board. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on to another type of problem that they're going to ask you to do. So like I said, this is one type of problem they're going to ask you to do on the test and for the homework. Another type that I'm going to be covering with you guys are like perimeter area problems. Okay, I think these ones are just dealing with perimeter. Okay, so we are not going to go over the money problems or the age problems. Okay, so if you see any of those, please skip those problems. All right, so let's go ahead and look at perimeter. So the problem says the length of a rectangle is 5 inches more than twice the width. The perimeter is 34 inches. They want us to find the length and width. Okay, so the length of a rectangle is 5 inches more than twice the width. The perimeter is 34 inches. Find the length and width. So we know over here that we have to calculate the length and we have to calculate the width. And we're going to be coming up with our own little mini equations for these, okay? Our own little equations like we did the other problems. So go back, read through the problem, and see which one do we know nothing about, the length or the width. Well, if I read the problem, they told us about the length. They didn't say anything about the width. So the width is going to become the variable, okay? Now you're going to use this variable n that you came up with for the width to calculate what the length would be. So the length of the rectangle is 5 inches more, so that means I'm going to be adding 5 to something, then twice the width. Well, the width is n, so that means twice the width, 2n. Now they let us know that the perimeter is 34 inches, okay? So it's the other information they gave us. Now, if you remember perimeter, there's two different equations, right? You can do length plus width, or you can do 2 times length, right? That's an L for length, and 2 times the width and add them together and get the same answer. It doesn't matter to me which one you use. Just make sure you know what you're doing, okay? All right, most people use this first one. They're used to just adding up all the sides together, and that's fine by me. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So they gave us the perimeter. The perimeter is 34 inches equals the length plus length. Well, length is 2n plus 5 plus 2n plus 5. And the width is n, and we got to add the width 2 times, so plus n plus n. From here, I would combine like terms. We'll have 2n plus 2n plus 1n plus 1n. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So this is now 34 equals 6n plus, I have 5 plus 5 is 10. So that simplifies to 34 equals 6n plus 10. Now we're solving for n. We're going to apply our properties. So we're going to go ahead and move the 10 to the left-hand side. So we're going to subtract 10 on both sides. So it's okay that the 6n's on the right-hand side. It comes out to be the same answer, right? The signs work themselves out. So 34 minus 10 is 24 equals 6n. We're going to apply our division property and divide both sides by 6. So n is 4. Now, we're not quite done yet, right? We have to substitute this in to the length and the width, okay? So we can go ahead and see my whole eraser just completely fell apart. All right, I'm gonna have to get a new one. Okay, so we can substitute in for the length. We know that n is 4. So 2 times 4 plus 5. Well, 2 times 4 is 8 plus 5 gives us 13. So the length is 13. Well, the width is just whatever n is. N is 4. So there's your answer for your width, okay? All right, let's go ahead and look at one more of those just so you see one more example, okay? That way you see one more example with the perimeter. And that is all we are going to cover for this section. All right, so this time the length of a rectangle is 3 inches more than twice the width. The perimeter is 36 inches. We're going to find the length and the width, okay? So it's just a smidge different than the other one. So now we need to read the problem. We need to figure out which one we know nothing about, the length or the width. Well, the length of the rectangle is 3 inches more than twice the width. They gave us no info on the width. All the information was on the length. So once again, that's going to become our n, our variable. Let's go ahead and build the length. So the length of a rectangle is 3 inches more. So I'm adding 3 to something. Twice the width. Well, the width is n. Twice the width. So for the length, it's 2n plus 3. The width is n. Now, the perimeter is 36 inches, and we're going to find the length and the width. So we know that perimeter is 36 inches equals 2n plus 3 plus 2n plus 3, right? Length plus length. Plus the width is n plus the width is n. Now we're going to combine like terms. So 2n plus 2n is 4n. Plus 1n is 5n, plus 1n is 6n. So I now have 36 equals 6n plus, I have a 3 plus 3 gives us 6. So 36 equals 6n plus 6, okay? Now we're solving for n, so we're going to subtract the 6 on both sides, so that cancels. 36 minus 6 is 30, equals 6n. Use that division property, so we're going to divide both sides by 6. So n is 5. So I know that the width is 5. So let's go ahead and calculate the length. Length is 2n plus 3. So now I have 2 times 5 plus 3. Well, 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So the length is 13 and the width is 5, okay? So those are the only type of problems we're going to be covering for the test and for the homework. Like I said, there might be one different one on the test that's going to tell you to not do it. And homework problems, you're only to do 3, 5, 7, 9, 31, and 33. The other 4 problems you are not to do. All right, but please, if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. It's very hard just doing the lecture here and not having you guys there to ask me questions, okay? All right, so I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck.